Family, what's up? We live and we are ready to do this. I've got guests in the house I can't wait for you to meet. And we are going to have a good time in dialogue and in fellowship on this evening at CC Nation. So I want to welcome you. Personal page, you're on the church's page, or you are on YouTube. Let me welcome you into the house. Let me make sure that we are live. I'm gonna make sure I'm everywhere. So you come on in the room, family, and let me know once you get on. Let me know that you're here. Get in the comment section. Give me a shout out so I know that we are where we're supposed to be. God is good. Let me see. I want to make sure we are live. All right, there we go. Leash, what's up? I see you. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know you're here. And if you're commenting on my personal page, I'm gonna give you a shout out. I may not be able to get you up on screen, but I'll still give you a shout out. But it's good to have you in the house as you come on in. Let me see some hearts flying. Also, make sure you share this. Let somebody know that we are live on tonight, and we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. And I want you to be encouraged on tonight. I want you to walk in the dreams that God has placed on the inside of you. Miss Rayanne, I see you. Good to see you on today. Hey. I see the hearts flying. Good to have you on this evening. You all get in the comment section. I'm going to make sure that I'm not missing anybody on my page. Amen. Also, our YouTube crew, if you all are watching us on YouTube. Lakeisha, good to see you. Blessings and favor on your life. Let me say this. This is CC Nation, and this is the Doing Life broadcast. Life stands for living in fulfilled excellence. And I want to push you to live in excellence in every phase of your life. I believe that your faith ought not be separated from everything you do, but your faith ought to be integrated in everything that you do. That's the job that you work. That's how you parent, how you spend your money. God is interested in your relationships, every area of your life. And we want to walk in fulfilled excellence. And that's what these conversations are really all about. It's about pushing you to be your best, to live your best life, that God is setting us up now for the eternity that he has promised us. And I'm just so grateful that we get to be in the midst of these conversations, because one thing I know is that we sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron, that we grow together as we continue to learn from the stories of those who are doing this thing called life with us. Leslie, good to see you on today. Again, you all do me a favor. Make sure you're letting somebody know that we are indeed live. I know people are still going to be getting their notifications, but you can help me out by tagging somebody, texting somebody, and letting them know that the conversation has begun. Let me bring my sister on screen. I've got Tiffany in the house. Tiffany, how you doing?
Listen, great. I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness! Now I am about to mess up. I'm about to call you by your maiden name, but it is
Listen, people
Tiffany
still
Spriggs.
do. Yeah, listen, go ahead and throw that Jackson in there. It's okay.
I'm about
Jackson
to say,
strong forever. Okay, just don't let
yes.
my husband hear that. Just don't let him hear it.
I know that's right. Look, y'all, me and Tiffany go way back when it comes to the Pennsylvania State Baptist Convention and the Congress. God has blessed us to forge relationships that have lasted through the test of time. And I am so grateful that I hit my sister up and I said, I want to have a conversation with you because I want to feature Black excellence all this month, and I'm so excited that I've got excellence in the house. Amen. So I see. I see Lauren is on and some others are jumping in. But go ahead, Tiff, say what's up to the people.
Listen, hi everybody. Thank you for just coming on to listen. Listen, thank you. First of all, I'm gonna be real Baptist right now. I'm gonna be real Baptist, and I want to give honor to our pastor.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, and his wife, First Lady. I gotta get real super Baptist with y'all.
Yes, indeed.
Gotta give honor where honor is due.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So yeah, listen, thank you so much for having me, and just it's a blessing that you even are think of me as excellence and the things that I'm doing, and I'm so grateful, and I can't wait to just encourage everybody.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Yes, indeed. I think it's so important that we see what other people are doing. We're just encouraged, we're inspired when we see what God is doing in somebody else. And I always tell people, if you think that I've inspired you in any way, just know that I failed a lot as I've tried to do whatever I got going on now. But I had a lot of people that I was able to watch and see and pick a little bit from here and there. And that's what this is all about. I'm just so grateful that you said yes, and just so grateful that I think so many people are going to be blessed to hear what you have to share. So Tiffany, why don't we start? Just give us a sense of who you are. Give us a little bit about what's going on in your life right now.
Okay. Well, I during a pandemic opened let me say that, opened up a salon during the pandemic. I opened up July of 2020. And it definitely wasn't in the plans, but I did it. And with the help of God, my friends, my husband, my family, that's how I did it. And that's why I'm really big on sharing that, because you have got to really believe, trust in the people that are around you, and make sure they're the good people that are around you. Right. Because I literally started the process, and it's still hard to believe. I started the process in October. No, wait a minute. When did we? Okay, so everything shut down in March. April. So I literally started the process March, April, late April, early May, and opened my doors July 1st.
My goodness.
I know. And nobody but God. Yeah. Nobody but God. I had actually went through a really traumatizing situation in order to lead me to this point. I have been in the industry. I've been licensed for 17 years now. And, I've worked at other salons. I've always worked for other people. And so many people had encouraged me, Tiffany, you need to open your own thing. I made every excuse in the book. Yeah. Every single excuse in the book. I didn't have enough money. I had the kids, Oh, Brooke is on.
Brooke, I see you. What's up?
Listen, I mean, it has been a journey, but I opened the salon. It's called From Eden. It's in Harrisburg. It's in a little borough of Pembroke within Harrisburg. So I'm so grateful. And just, in the end, want everybody to know you can do anything. Yeah. As long as you are, listening to Christ. I didn't listen. I didn't listen for years. I had so many opportunities, but it took me literally, God had to shake me. He took me out of my comfort zone. And I had to be hurt in order to do what I feel like now destined to do.
My goodness, you are touching on some powerful stuff. And we are going to come back to this, that you didn't lose a business in the pandemic. You started a business in the pandemic. But we're going to come back around to that, because that's just so powerful. But one of the things that I always encourage people to do is to develop a skill. One of the things that I said when we first entered into the quarantine phase is that there were some people who a year, 2, 3 years from that point would be living off of some good decisions that they made during the pandemic, while there'll be some other folk who were complaining going in, complaining during, and still going to be complaining 3, 4, 5 years
You better
after
preach that thing. Preach
after it's
that
all
thing.
said and done. Sometimes God has to slow us down in order to get us to be in a position to birth that thing that he has placed on the inside of us. But the idea of skill development, how did you get to the point in which you even thought about doing hair? You thought about working in a salon. Kind of walk us through that process.
So I went to, actually, a lot of people don't know this. I went to, oh, my husband's on. Hi, love. I love you.
Hey, how you doing, my brother? I haven't met you yet. But what's up, man?
Listen, that's my love.
Yes.
But I had went to Dauphin County Technical School in Harrisburg. So I always knew that I wanted to do hair. I have always loved hair. Brooke was my baby doll for years. I would be always trying new hairstyles on her. For as long as I could remember. I remember at 12, my sister-in-law, me begging her to teach me how to braid. So I went to Dauphin County Technical School from my sophomore year to my senior year. So I've had my license since I was 18.
Goodness.
So I had, went through that process, made sure I learned as much as I could while I was there. And things, if I didn't know things, I made sure I asked my teacher to find people to teach me. There weren't many African Americans in my class. So, it wasn't, I guess, important to teach us even about our own hair. So if there were things I needed to know or wanted to learn, my teacher made sure. So definitely asking questions, guys. But I had, graduated, had my license. While I was in school, I worked as a shampoo tech / receptionist. So I learned a lot during that experience. I did that for a good 2 to 3 years. And then, once I had my license, I got my first job at Cost Cutters. One of the little, the little walk-in like type places, because I wanted to learn all, about all hair types, which to this day, oh, that's my employee, Mikey. She's on Mikey. Listen, you want to talk about a woman of God. Okay.
My goodness.
That
Patrick said, what's up too? Patrick's on.
Listen, my Uncle Pat. He will always be Uncle Pat, okay? That's my uncle forever. So I went through that, but I've continued education throughout the years, taking classes online. That's what I did during the pandemic as well. I did so many online classes. It was awesome. It was a great opportunity to be able to do that. So that's what I've been doing. I've worked full-time as a stylist. I've worked part-time as a stylist, but that's always been my passion. My love for all things. I did still go to college. I always encourage that of a lot of hairstylists as well. You may have that, but say you hurt your hand, say you hurt a foot, you should always have a backup. So I also have an associate's in fashion marketing. I did go to school for that because I made sure it was something I love. Anything beauty, anything in the beauty industry, I love. So, which still helped me to this day. I think about it. The marketing part of it I use in my business now. So
that is so good. I really want you all to, as we go through these stories, I always want to pull out some nuggets that I think are transferable to wherever you find it yourself. One of the things that Tiffany said is that during the pandemic, she already had skills to be able to do hair. But she said, I was still learning. I was still taking classes. I was constantly learning. And one of the things that's so important is that we we like to start and stop. We like to think that we've arrived. We kind of get arrogant. We've been doing something for a little while. You know, I've been doing it since I was a teen, and now I'm in my 20s and 30s. I got this. But it is important that we're constantly learning, because that growth is going to be so essential. You never know when God is going to bring life to a seed that you planted. And so that's why it's so important for you to plant seeds, for you to learn, for you to continue to walk in that thing that you find yourself compelled to grow in. And so I don't want you to miss that nugget, because so many of us waste so much time where we could be learning and really adding to what God has done in us. And you know, just to make that point practical, to learn doesn't always mean that you have to go to college. And I encourage you to go to college, but you can learn by making sure you're not listening to music all the time. Every now and then, turn on a podcast, turn on an audiobook if you got to commute. Take a online course. You know, there's Udemy and YouTube and Google and all different places that you can go and get some information. But I wanted to pull that out because, you know, Tiffany really blessed me when she said that I'm still learning. I decided to take some class while I was in the pandemic. So Tiffany, help me out here, because I love the idea of not just you being a beautician or a stylist. What's the proper word? What's the proper
Cosmetologist.
Cosmetologist. All right. I want to make sure I was in the right place. All right. So you are that, but that takes a skill set. But if you're going to own your own salon, there are some other skills that you need to actually develop to actually do that. So tell me maybe some of the skills that cross over, but then tell me some of the things that you need to know as the owner and then as the one that's actually doing work in the business.
So number one, anybody, I don't care what you're getting into, especially when it's time to own a business, you have got to humble yourself.
My goodness.
Take away whatever degrees you have. You've got to humble yourself, because I realized you don't know everything. I didn't know everything. I'd never owned a business. I had to rely on the people around me. So that was the first thing, just humbling myself and realizing I can't do it all myself.
Yeah.
It's not going to be all about me. And that's the main thing, that is just really being humble. So in saying that, reaching out to the people that you know have the skills and know the things that you don't know. When I went to even go about my licensing, because you have to get, in finding a space, you have to get the space licensed. I wasn't even really sure about how to do that. Went on, did my research. One of my best friends, who is now my business consultant, Tanya, she filled out everything for me. She said, you need this, you need that. Even in that, my husband being a blessing and realizing too, you know, I'm trying to figure this out. He sees me up late crying, you know, trying to figure out, I don't know this, I don't know that. He reaches out to my business consultant, and he's the one that got my LLC for me for Mother's Day. Like, I didn't even know that was a part of it. So that was presented to me. I come up with the name, but he got the LLC for me. So I'm like, God, like, this is like, you're doing this thing. And I realized then I had to, you know, really keep it going. As far as the logo, again, my business consultant did that. Knowing what insurance is, my friend Lakeisha, who's on here, I reached out to her because she's been in insurance for years, still continues. She's still educating herself. She just got another certification within that. My friend Nicole, who has been in charge of training companies like her, all of these people around me that love and care about me, telling me how to do this, and me asking questions. You have to ask questions. Yeah. So yeah, from the very beginning, like getting the space, when I went to find it, one of my clients, I reached out to her. She's a realtor. I said, can you help me? I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what price range what I don't know what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
she helped me find the space, went with me, she asked questions for me. Um, it was just Crystal, my friend Crystal, just telling me she's been the head of, she's only, Crystal, she's probably 32, I think, and
Mm.
has been in charge of an organization for years. So I'm asking her just even how to communicate with people well. Um, my friend April on this side of technology and things, I'm not very tech savvy. My friend Jossie, again, the people around me really helped me put this together.
Yeah.
Their prayers as well. Um, my mentor, a lot of people don't even know this. I don't even want to say the amount she sold into my business. She said, I'm just so proud of you,
Goodness.
for being able to do this. And so that part of it, saving.
Mm. Yeah.
Saving is huge. Like when you have a dream, or when I knew I wanted to do this, it cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
cost a lot of money, and you can be smart about it. So that was another step where as soon as I came up with the name, when I knew I had the LLC, I went to the bank and I created a business account.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's all of these steps and just reaching out. So I've had a lot of stylists in the area reach out to me and ask me questions, and not even just stylists, estheticians. Like people say, how did you get started? I tell them whatever information,
Mm.
because I had to reach out to people, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I had people to reach out to. And a lot of people don't. They wouldn't know where to start. And I didn't, if I wouldn't have had my friends and my family and, my mentor and even my husband, there was a lot that he knew that I didn't know. I would not, all my friends, even their husbands, were like, hey, tell Tim this, or I'll help move furniture.
Mm-hmm.
I bought everything in the space. And I know you probably, you've seen pictures and I put up
Mm-hmm.
videos. It's hard for people to believe 95% of the things in there are used. Like I was very, savvy when it came to that. And we
Yeah.
can thank Barbara E. Jackson for that one, because
Yeah.
she taught me how to do that. So I repurposed a lot of the furniture and things. So at any time, if anybody needs help, and anybody on here, even if I don't know, please follow my page. My email's on there. Please message me at any time. I do not care. If
Yeah.
you have a question, I am here. I try to be that. I thank God, because I don't have to be who I wish I had, because I
Mm.
had the people to help me. So
Yeah.
I want to be for anybody else who they wish they had. I want to always be there, not especially not have a dollar attached to it. If it's some information I can just give, a dollar doesn't always have to be attached. So I'm here.
Yeah. That is so powerful. Corey said, "Hey, by the way, Corey's on."
Woo!
He told
Wait
me
till
that.
I tell Jeremiah that you're on here. He misses y'all so much. He misses Life and Steve. He misses it.
Yes, indeed. So you just dropped so many jewels here. I want to make sure that I keep up with you, because you dropping truth bomb after truth bomb
Listen,
after truth bomb.
I'm just trying to get it out here. I'm just trying to give what God gave me. That's
Man,
all,
it,
I'm a mere vessel.
yep,
Okay.
so
I'm a
good.
mere vessel.
It's so good. Here's one that I'm really hearing from Tiffany on tonight. It's not just about what you know, it's about being honest about what you don't know. And
Yeah.
she was very clear about, I may not know, how to find my own space. I don't necessarily know about technology. I didn't know about insurance, but I'm honest about what I don't know, and I'm willing to hear from people who can point me in the right direction. And there's so many people who are trying to get a business off the ground, trying to get a dream off the ground, and you think that somehow you're going to do it by yourself. It doesn't work like that. There's just so many blind spots that we have, and that's why we need people around us. And so I want you to hear some of the types of people that Tiffany has talked about. She's talked about friends. She talked about a mentor. She talked about a business consultant. So these are people in her life who could speak into her. And unfortunately, so many of us, we have people around us, unfortunately, who aren't necessarily able to take us higher because they are comfortable living in low places. And what you will find is that you will typically live at the level of the people that you surround yourself with. So that's why you got to have some people who can pull you up, who can give you some of that truth and some of those nuggets that you may need if you're going to do what God has called you to do. So I really want you to hear what Tiffany is saying, because these principles are transferable, not just in business, but this stuff is just life, period. Having the right people around you. Some people will drain you. There's other people who will add to you, and you've got to be protective of who you allow in your space, because you want people that can push you up, and not people who are always pulling you down. And then there is another valuable truth bomb that Tiff just dropped on us, and that is, I got all of this information, but I'm not keeping it to myself. I'm giving it out to the people who are in need. And Lauren got on here and she said, "You are the best information giver. Thank you."
That's brother. Listen, I met Lauren. I'm gonna tell you what. Lauren is a faithful client, friend.
Yeah.
We met at a networking event,
Mm.
and I have just held on to her forever. I love you, Lauren. You're mine forever and always.
I know that's right.
Yeah, listen, and she does the same thing. And we have to, like, oh my gosh, Darrell, I can't say it enough. Like, and I thank you for just, really adding on to that, because you're going to lose a lot of people. We're going to kill that right there, honey. I lost people that I thought were going to be in my life forever.
Yeah.
Are gone. But I don't even want to, it was for the best. It was in God's plan. Yep. As much as it hurt, that's why I said I went through a lot of hurt. As much as it hurt, it had to happen. It made me uncomfortable. It made me move. It made me shift my entire life. People leaving me and hurt made me shift my entire life for the better. So you have to trust God, y'all. Like, just trust God. And I promise you, he's not going to. I know we've heard that. How many times we heard that at Congress, convention, in church, all of that. Yep. But until you get older and you really have to not lean on anybody else, when you can't talk to your husband or wife about things, or talk to your friends, and there's things that just on the inside are hurting, and God is the only one you can talk to about that or has the answer. That's just it, y'all. That's it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And one of the things that God will use for the purposes of our elevation is separation. God separates us from certain people, and sometimes he uses the people who actually intend to hurt us. And that's where, the story of Joseph.
Listen, I'm going to head back that one, okay? That right there.
I know that's right. Joseph told his haters, Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. He told his brother, because his brothers were now worried because now Joseph was in power, and they remembered what they did to him over 20 years ago. And Joseph says, "You intended to harm me, but God weaved this together," or God meant this for my good. So you had your intent, but God. And sometimes that's all we need is the but God. It is God's intervention. And notice that when Joseph goes to Egypt, he's, the brothers are actually the ones who sell him into slavery. God got him away from them so that God could blow him up in a place God wanted him to be all along. And sometimes God will use those people who are trying to betray and trying to backstab and, throwing all type of negativity away. God will use that stuff to separate you from them, because he's getting ready to use them as a vehicle to get you where he wanted you all along.
Listen, and that you were like, Ooh, listen, I'm a crier. Everybody know that, but I'm gonna tell you what, because you about to make, because seriously, that is, and I tell you, that's my testimony. Literally, that's it. That's how I
Mhm.
got to this space. So hurt, don't let other people stop you from what God has for you. Like, don't, if you're getting pushed towards it, who cares what anybody else is saying? Who cares what they're doing? I always say tunnel vision.
Yeah.
I'm like this. I don't really care what anybody else is doing. I'm focused on what I'm doing and on the people that are there. That's
Yeah.
also, as humans, we're like, oh, well, this person, I can't do this because they did this or they did this to me, so I can't do this.
Yeah.
Or they're not here. If they would have been here, this would have been that. I don't even, like I said, number one, praise to God, but the people around me,
Yeah. Yep.
that's really, yeah, Keisha just said, run your own race. That
Run
is
your own
it.
race. Yep.
That
Yep.
is really it. I could care less about what's going on or what people thought, had to say or wanted to say, or what their opinions were. I had to do, because for it to be like, Darrell, seriously. Now let's just be real. Let's talk about this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of a business literally opening in 4 months? Like, I
Yeah.
still have to come back and say, oh my God, like this really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And to say, like, it was not me, like, that's God. Only God can do something like that. Like you said, in a pandemic, when
Yeah.
people are closing businesses, I'm sitting here opening one.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I seriously, it's still unbelievable. And where I see so many people too, and I, hope and pray that things were better for them, because I could be, you know, yeah, and listen, and that's true. Like, I'm booked out a month at a time normally,
Mm.
for me to be thriving too is just, I'm so grateful is always my big word. My bestie Nicole, she always tells me, walk in a space of gratefulness.
Yeah.
Walk in, and that's the space. I will never ever take any of this for granted.
Yeah. My
Ever.
goodness. That is so powerful. And I think that's a good place to kind of transition to that idea of opening in a pandemic, so that everything was not perfect. Everything wasn't necessarily where you may have wanted it to be. You just knew this is the vision. This is the dream that God had given you. You were moving towards it. There were some stuff that you had to have in place, but there was some other things that you figured out as you went along. So talk to me about this, because every business owner is going to have to do this at some point. Going to have to make adjustments. So I'm sure you got to adjust in how you do hair, how many people you have in the salon at a time, and just
Yeah.
all of that. So talk to me about having to make adjustments.
So one of the biggest ones, of course, was COVID, where I'm used to being able to do two clients at a time. Somebody's underneath the dryer. So having to work through that, and my clients accepting, I cannot take multiple people at a time. So I'm scheduled, it's one person at a time. So my book fills up faster. My schedule is always pretty much, filled up. Having to disappoint people, when
Mm.
I have this whatever going on, I really need to get in this weekend, or I'm going back to work, and having to learn to say no and being okay with that. And all business owners too, and just everyone working, just taking ourselves out of it and worrying about each other's health.
Yeah.
Saying, I'm like, hey, I would like to take 2-3 people at a time. That would be amazing as far as money. But the side of, I want to keep myself, my clients, and my employee healthy. I don't want, COVID is very real.
Yeah.
That was also an adjustment. My husband got COVID during this time, so I had to shut down my salon. As quick as it opened,
Mm.
I had to shut it down. But that's where I said about saving. We were fine, because I made sure, I keep money in the state, continue to put in there. My sister, Brooke, runs my website.
Mm.
She, had to do adjustments for me, like even with making policies and procedures. There was all of those things, which
Yeah.
I'm not good at that stuff, writing all of that up. My business consultant did that as well. My niece, runs my social media because I don't have a clue. So she keeps, keeping people informed. I'm
Yeah.
as young as I am, I'm still in the old school. Like I said, I've had my license a long time where a business card was it. You just walk
Mhm.
around and who did your hair? And like, here's her card. That's
Yeah.
how it went. But
Mhm.
now, social media is big. So um that's been a huge adjustment, a huge adjustment. So again, being open to asking questions and asking for help, and just, you can't be prepared for everything, but take advice from other business owners. I reach out to so many, like, how did you do this? Or what do you think about this? Or, all of those things. That's really going to, again, I'm a baby in this, but
Mhm.
I think I'll forever and always give that information and ask, really making sure I ask. And once I do know if I can share it with somebody else, I will. So
Yeah.
those have been the biggest adjustments.
Yeah, that's just so good, and I think that whatever you're doing in life, whether it's business, parenting, you're trying to figure out money, you've got to learn how to handle adjustments because
Mhm.
things happen that are outside of your control, and you
Yeah.
you have to be able to deal with it, because so many people struggle in business, struggle in work, struggle getting dreams off the ground because they try to control things that they will never be able to
Ooh,
control.
they'll preach, honey,
Yeah,
preach.
yeah, and so many people do that. You got your hands in stuff that's what God got to figure out. And
Yes.
I always tell our folk, you do what you can do, and you trust God with what you can't do. And so,
Yeah.
what I'm hearing from you, Tiffany, is that you had to deal with systems, you had to deal with with processes, you had to ask questions, you had to have people in your life that you can trust to handle various things, so that as you are adjusting, you're not trying to stop COVID because you can't stop COVID. That's not what you're doing. But what you are doing is you are adjusting your business within the context of COVID. I always tell people the best illustration for me with that is that when I open up my umbrella when I go outside, I don't open it up with the mind that the rain is going to stop. But I do open it up with the mindset that the rain's going to stop getting on me. And
Yeah.
so we've got to know that there's certain things in our environment we can't change, but we can make sure that we're doing what we need to do within the context of the environment so we can stay dry when everybody else is wet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you sharing those adjustments because so many folk, God, I want this thing to be perfect. God, I want you to dot every I and cross every T, and God ain't gonna do that.
But I mean, like, look at yourself too. Like,
Yeah.
who would have ever thought, you were in the pulpit preaching and everything, you had live
Hmm.
and everything, but who would ever look how great this turned around, and you out here changing lives with your own show. Like, COVID turned around for the better too. It gave all of these opportunities for you to reach people even further than what you already do. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. And I appreciate you saying that. It's just so many people I've been able to just get in contact with in a different way. And God he had to break me down because I miss being in the pulpit. I love being in
Yeah.
the pulpit. I love that energy of feeling, the congregation and feeling the spirit of God just moving. But God is saying, no, I can move in any scenario. I can move while you sitting in your room and they in theirs, or I can move it in the church house, but you can't box me in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, I had to adjust. Preachers and pastors all across this country, we had to adjust. And if we don't adjust, we're going to drown.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's real, and it really opened up everybody's eyes. I would say how really in the church, and my husband and I, we talked a lot about that as well, because a lot of people were, so you had to have a title in church to do anything.
Mm, yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, well, that's my pew. That second
Mm,
pew on the right, that's my pew. Well, what are you doing when you don't have that anymore?
yeah.
It really put some people to the forefront, and it was like, okay, are you out here feeding these kids or feeding the seniors that can't get out, making sure they got groceries? Are you still tithing?
Yeah.
All that. Let's talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, it's really like, let's be real about how church, that everybody had to open their eyes.
Yeah. No
Everybody
doubt
had to
about
open
it.
their eyes.
Yeah, I mean, because one of the things we had to find out is that church is really more than worship.
Yeah.
It's really about the work. It's about how we serve. It's about changing lives, meeting people where they are. And I've been telling pastors, I mean, we're not going back to the way things used to be. Matter of fact, but before COVID, it wasn't like it was when we was running around in the state Congress and
I
convention.
know.
It's a
I know,
it's
because
a
you
whole
listen,
different world.
just remember, and I mean, you could say too, remember you could just jump on the drums and do it. What do they call them? A little jam session or something after
Yep.
or before church. And I'd be
Hmm.
like, get off the drums. If you break something, I'm
Right.
calling your mom.
Yeah.
I'm calling your dad. Like the stuff we could do, or like, just sitting around singing together and stuff is like, it's going to be very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
No
know.
doubt. No doubt about it. Yeah. Yeah. No, no doubt about it. Let me see. Your husband says we have to love people the way Christ loved the church. You right
You,
about it, sir.
you better preach, husband, downstairs.
you,
Yes.
you are right
Yeah,
about it.
he's right. He
Yes,
is
it.
very right. Like that's kind of how we got to do it. And
Yeah.
he lives by that.
Hmm.
My husband, you can ask him sometimes to a fault. He'll just, he'll jump, and sometimes I got to reel him back, but
Hmm.
he'll help anybody. That's one of the things that I just absolutely, one of the many things I adore about that man. Like he
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. Yeah.
He definitely will.
That is so powerful, and I think you all there's definitely some of these themes that just keep reoccurring. Having people in your life who have your back, people who love you and you can love, because Tiffany, you are doing all of this. You're running, starting, operating a business, but you're still a wife and you're still a mother at the same time. So I think another good place for us to kind of go to is just the idea of balance, right? So how do we kind of realize our dreams that God has given to us, yet and still take care of home? Talk to us about balance.
Um, I'm still working on that. I'm gonna
Yep.
be honest. I
Yeah.
am
All of us are.
still,
Sure.
yeah, I'm still working on it. Because all of the kids were home,
Hmm.
and when I was getting the business together and everything, like my kids were right here beside me while I'm doing all of that. When I'm shopping for the salon, when I'm, having meetings, like they're right there with me. So I was with the kids, I was very honest about what was going on. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to open a business. You can help me with this. They watched the whole thing unfold.
Hmm.
Um, and being patient, and again, depending on the people around me and being honest. I'm like, I'm normally one of them. I can do everything on my own.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I had to say, can you take, Carter for a minute, or can you take
Yeah.
Jeremiah for a second? Both of them. Um, but one thing, family first.
Mm.
Family
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
I'm very big. If everybody knows me, I have off every Wednesday and Sunday.
Mm.
Um, I don't do any scheduling on my phone. I have a website which you can schedule on. My scheduling system is on there. So I am not, I charge you can make an appointment for a consultation, because I can't sit on the phone for 15, 20 minutes. Because if, my youngest is very hyper, he requires a lot of attention. So I really just made sure I stuck with those days for them.
Hmm.
Um, Everybody knows me too. If my husband's like, yeah, we need a day. I don't want you to work this day. We're doing this. I shut it down,
Yeah.
because I'm making sure he knows, above all else, he is the priority. My family is the priority, because he does the same with me. He's helping me, like, as this very moment. Darrell, when you asked me to do it, I looked at the calendar. I said, hey,
Yeah.
don't have anything planned this day, this time. You got the kids. He's down. He picked them, daycare. He's doing dinner. He's making sure right as we speak that all of that is taken care of so that we can be together
Right.
and share this time. So communication is
That's
huge.
good.
Just making sure um, that you know are just honest and how you're feeling and what you need. Because some days I'll say to him, hey, I'm gonna take off 2 days. Can you just handle, whatever? Um, and vice versa. We're very big on self-care. Again, I say this like 1,000 times because Brooke gets on me as well. Brooke is that's my niece. Everybody around me, they'll say, Tiffany, are you resting? I remember during this time, Kristen and my friend Keisha had sent me money and they're like, stop. Like they sent a message and they were like, stop, go have lunch. And I was like, dang, how do they know? How did they know I'm this tired? Like I was exhausted and they
Yeah.
knew it. So I take, everybody, please take that time to stop. Hair will never go away. And I tell myself that hair's never going to go away. The business will always be there, but you won't, and your health will not. We're getting older, as we
Yeah.
talked about. You're getting older faster now, as we decided. You're getting older faster now. But to keep young and fresh and things,
Right.
y'all. I'm
Hmm.
very big on naps. I love taking naps. So if I'm tired, I'm taking a nap. I shut my
Yeah.
phone off
Yeah.
unapologetically.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm still, like I said, I don't have it down pat, but those are the very small things I make happen. I take momcations.
Hmm.
Ladies, this
Yeah.
is for the ladies. Are y'all you hearing me, ladies?
Oh,
Momcations.
school
I get a hotel. I get a hotel. And that's right. Mikey said you cannot pour from an empty cup. She's so right. She helps
That's
me.
good.
Mikey gets on me as well. Like I said, that's my employee. She'd be like, you need to, chill out a little bit, Tiff.
Yeah.
So she reels me in a lot, but I take my momcations. I get a hotel. I go to sleep. I shut my phone. My husband knows where I'm at, and that is my friends do. I send a group text out, hey, I'm at this hotel, this room, and I sleep. I
Hmm.
listen to music. I do whatever it is. I eat all my favorite foods, drink my favorite drinks,
Yeah.
and just take the time to relax. So that's how I'm trying to work this thing out. I'm trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
That's
trying.
so good. And I think what you said when you started, like I'm still working on this. And it's a constant process for us all. Even for me, I don't have any children, but I still have to balance my time to make
Yeah,
sure that my wife knows how important she is, so that church and ministry and the businesses I run, that they don't take any precedent over her. And there's some times that I don't get it right, and sometimes that I haven't gotten it right. But TD Jake said, I don't make the same mistake 2 days in a row. He was
wow.
saying one day, sometimes I feel like being a dad on Monday, but I'm not gonna feel like being a dad on Tuesday. I might feel like being a husband to my wife on Wednesday, but I'm gonna make sure I pick that up on Thursday. And so it's about constantly going back to that word we just talked about. Is going back to making adjustments. I think another buzzword that is important here is the word boundaries. And you were talking about some boundaries, that when it's family time, it's family time. You can't give any consultation to people who want to call you about hair or whatnot when you're spending time with family, because you said, I gotta chase the young one around. I gotta
Yeah,
do some stuff at home.
yeah,
And so I think for a lot of us, part of our struggle is that we don't have clearly defined boundaries, that we always have this merging that's taking place between our work life and our home life. And there's never an off switch, so that I'm not the owner right now. I'm a wife right now.
yeah,
A mom right now. But being able to have those clear boundaries to be able to turn off, and those times of rest you talked about, knowing I need to take a nap. knowing
Yeah.
I need a momcation. No, I need me and hubby time. Know that I need to get my mind off the business. Those are things that are important because some of us go, 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 go. And like your friend said, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You're going to run out at some point if you don't take care of yourself. So I really appreciate you sharing some of those gems tonight, because I think some people need to know that it's okay to take care of you.
Yeah. It really is. It's okay to say no.
Yeah,
Because you can always follow, you can follow up that no with, but when I can, I will, or
yeah,
on this date, I'm available, or whatever it is. Because you don't want, with that, as far, it's like funny, that ties back into balance too, where you don't want people to feel like you don't care about them or that they're
yeah,
not important.
mhm,
So, just make sure you can follow up with, but on this day I can, or I am available, because um that's just, that's a hurtful thing to say. I have to keep boundaries with you, or I have
yeah,
to have boundaries with you. You got to
mhm,
follow up with,
yeah,
why or when, it's going
yep,
to continue. So
no
just be
doubt.
careful with that, because you want the people around you to still know you love and care, that this business is not number one, before
Right.
you.
Yep.
Because that business can go, but your family, your friends, the people around you that love and care about you, that's forever. So a business can go at any time. COVID's proven that.
Yeah.
COVID
No
has
doubt
proven
about
it. It can go at any time, but the people around you that love and care about you, that put your energy there.
it. Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. And a couple of things you said, I think is so true. I know for me as as a pastor, and probably your pastor can attest to this too. Sometimes you go so hard because you don't want to let folk down,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so you struggle with that word saying no. I can't. And sometimes you just run yourself into the ground because you just don't want to. I don't want to let you down. I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want to say no, but it's so important that that you realize that there's only so much that you're able to give before you burn out, and
Yeah.
sometimes that no is the rest that you need so that you can have strength. Like you said,
Hmm.
I can't do this now, but I can do it later.
Yeah.
I can't get you Monday, but catch me next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's it, but other other times, we do got to tell folk it's a hard no,
Yeah.
because there are some of those times that I know in ministry that I've said yes and yes and yes and yes, and then the point in which I said one no for them, it redefined our
Oh
relationship.
God. Oh yeah. They were like, he don't love me. Pastor
Yeah,
don't want nothing. Did you hear what
right.
Pastor told me? No, don't ask him nothing. Like what?
Yeah. You forgot about the 10 yeses and the
Hmm.
one no. Now I'm the enemy. And so
Yeah.
that really lets me know where I am. I'm your friend, I'm your buddy, I'm your pastor as long as I'm giving you what you want. But as soon as I can't give it to you, now
Yeah.
I'm something else. And so you gotta you gotta understand that, because I know for me at times in which ministry has burned me out, it's because I've allowed people to be parasitical in their relationship with me,
Wow.
and so they've drained and drained and drained and have never added. But when I asked for an ad, it
Hmm.
became something crazy, right?
Yeah.
We see it in ministry, we see it in business. Sometimes, unfortunately, we see it with family members, right? So I don't want to get no families in trouble, but sometimes families, you have to have that distance, even there. So I appreciate that, because I think that's going to bless somebody, whether you're on live with us now or you're going to watch this replay. There are some times in business and in ministry and in family that you have to say, I can't allow my fear to disappoint you continue to put me in a bad place. I've got to at some point take care of me, because you're not going to do it. Uh, and nobody is going to take care of us the way God has empowered us to take care of ourselves.
Most definitely. Like
Yeah.
that is the whole truth.
Yeah. So
The
then
whole
I
truth.
I appreciate you. We still got some folk on, but you have dropped so much on us tonight. I have been taking notes, and I am going to go through this. I think that this again has been some stuff that is transferable no matter where you are. If you are in business, you're considering business, or you have a dream to start a nonprofit, even in your relationship life. um, Tiffany has just unpacked some stuff that I think is just so valuable for how we do what we do. So, Tiffany, give me some closing thoughts. I know we covered a lot. I do want to say this publicly. I've been watching from afar. I'm so proud of you and the work
Oh,
you're
thank
doing.
you.
I know it's not easy. First of all, I know it's not easy to be in business, and then I also know it's not easy to be in business as well as be what you need to be at home and family and all of that. And you are doing it well. And I certainly want to congratulate you, of course, your husband, and just pray that God continues to bless and keep y'all.
Yeah, listen, thank you so much. And it has, but you had me thinking. It's what you said in the beginning when we were talking.
Mm,
I say this in closing. One of my friends has said this to me as well. The process, I would say, of doing anything, whether it be a business, just anything that you're passionate about and you're trying to move forward, it reminds me and my we talked about it reminds us of labor. So you've
mm.
never gone through labor,
Oh,
but
thank the Lord.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want any parts of it. But having a child, it starts with the growing,
Mm,
and that child growing inside of you, and you're feeding it. You have to eat the right things. You have to
mm,
keep the right mindset when you're pregnant. Um, all of these things go into growing that baby. But in order for it to come, when the baby is coming, you're going to go through the worst pain. You can sometimes have to go through the worst pain in your life to get the biggest joy in your life.
yeah.
Like that's how I look at this whole process and you know, doing the business. Like it was seamless, like I said, when the baby's growing inside you, you're like, oh, this is so wonderful and life is so good. My skin is glowing, my nails are growing hair, all of that.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to Labor Day, you're like, what? Like
Yeah.
I have to go through all of this to bring this bundle of joy. So it is that I would say just that's what I compare it to.
Mm,
There's pain, there's beautiful times in it. There's those God moments where he just reveals all these things to you just for you to have this beautiful baby. That's what I call my salon my baby.
yeah.
Because I had to go through some labor pains
My
and things to
goodness.
get this beautiful thing that I call from Eden Salon. I had to I pray constantly in my space, over my
Mhm.
space,
Yeah, that's good.
to because you're gonna have some things that are always gonna come against you. There's always gonna be those things, but stay prayed up. Darrell, like you said, watch the people around you, make sure that they're met and they have the same purpose that you have, that they're, going along with your purpose, and God, and making sure that, they may not have the strongest relationship, but they believe what you believe.
Yeah.
Um, that is something that's important to you, and to have them along for the ride. Like, just that's all I have. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for letting me share this. Again, I hope it helps somebody, and that anybody, please reach out to me. I'm on Instagram, TS Styles Me. I'm on Facebook, Tiffany Spriggs Hairstylist. You can email me, from edensalon.com. You can reach me on all of those platforms for, if you do have questions, and I am here to help. So, Darrell, thank you. Where's First Lady? Tell First Lady I said thank you too. I gotta do things in the Baptist order. Okay. So actually I should be thanking Siobhan for Siobhan, thank you first.
Yeah. Yeah, she probably still in rehearsal. They got to sing on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah, no Baptist.
listen. she be singing when I try to tell you. I think it was, wait, was it New Year's service or something when it's her and her sister? And I was like, listen, nobody told me. Was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
New Year's?
It may have been Thanksgiving service. It
Okay.
was a Thanksgiving, but they sang on New Year's too. Yep.
I was watching. I'll be watching. See, I'm watching y'all too. And y'all are doing amazing things. I love y'all so much.
Oh, love you
Forever
too.
and always. Forever and
Oh,
always.
please tell everybody I said hello. Tell my
Listen,
girl Brooke I said hi. It was so good to see her on.
listen, that's my love. Brookers, my Brooker Snookers. Y'all already know we was always connected at the hip. That's my love.
Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness. And so let me do my begging segment.
Okay, go
Uh
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna need to get you on a record that you'll be back. You'll be coming on again.
Yeah, I
You'll be coming back
promise.
on. You promise? Okay,
I promise.
Patrick's
Girl Scouts honor. If any
Girl
of y'all
Scouts are.
Girl Scouts honor, right? How
Yes,
many?
yes, indeed. Pat said, awesome interview. It's definitely been enlightening.
Oh, my Uncle Pat. Listen, we just
Yeah,
waiting for that bass, brother. Like, get on here with the
yeah.
bass. All
That
right.
bass
I was
guitar. He
listen. I
coming.
was telling Darrell, I want a crew reunion. Anybody's on here. Come on, let's make this happen. We've waited too long. We've
Lord
waited
have
too
mercy.
long.
Yes, yes. The crew is coming back. Lee says very enlightening. These are people on my personal page. I
Okay.
wasn't able to bring their comments on screen, but we have some folk in and out on my personal page. I know some folk watching this on TV on YouTube as well. So let me give
Okay.
all the YouTube audience a shout out because I always forget to give y'all one. And of course, our replay audience, thank you so much for watching the replay. If you fast forwarded, rewind because Tiffany dropped some gems on today. So I need you to hear all of this. Also want to remind you, Kristen Austin will be with me on Thursday. So I am looking forward to catching up with Kristen. My brother Dave Dix will be on with me next Tuesday, and we'll be talking about Black excellence in government. So I'm excited about that. And then my boy Aaron Wiggum will be on with me next Thursday, and he is a venture capitalist, or I should say, he works for one, and so he's going to help us to understand how to fund business, how to find money, and where
I'm
to
gonna be
go.
watching that.
Oh, you watching?
I'll be in on all of them, but I'll really be watching that.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna ask our brother Aaron on next Thursday a bunch of great questions around that. But Tiffany, thank you again for joining us. We are so grateful to have you, and we will be back with Tiffany. I might get some of my Congress folk on at the same time, and we just go down memory lane. So we might have to
Listen,
get
you need to get Richard. You need to get Richard on here because you know Richard's hilarious.
Richard
Oh, excuse
Hampton.
me. Yeah, excuse me.
Yep.
Pastor
Pastor
Hampton. I'm
Hampton. Yeah.
sorry. I knew him as Richard before. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, Pastor Hampton
Yeah, I
on
do gotta
here.
get him. He just hit me up too.
No, listen, he's so dope. I was visiting his church for a minute. I don't even want to listen. Let me not even hit. Listen, love me some Richard again, forever and always. His church, you
Yeah.
really do. You got to get him on here. You got to get
Yeah,
him on
yeah.
here.
We gonna make it happen because he got me coming to do something for Central Region, I think in March.
Wow,
Yeah, so
seriously? Wait, you
yeah.
got to let me know. Listen, let me know when you up here so we can make my husband. He barbecues and grills and all that. We gotta get you some. You gotta come visit.
Oh yeah, we're going to make that happen because I was actually through Harrisburg not too long ago, maybe
What?
a few months ago. I was through here. I mean, I was going
Excuse
through.
me.
I didn't stop for
Excuse
long,
me.
but
Did y'all hear that, Harrisburg people? Darrell was here. So y'all heard that. So that is recorded. He was here and said not a word. Okay.
Harrisburg, my people, I'll be back soon. I'll be
Just
back. Yeah.
saying.
You know, I got nothing but love for Harrisburg. My whole crew in Harrisburg.
I know, but that was wrong though. You was trying to say the thing here. It didn't say nothing. I'm not forgiving you for that. Okay.
Oh my goodness, I got you. I'm back. I'm back. We gonna make it happen. Facebook, YouTube, all of y'all be blessed. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Doing Life. Darrell Cook. I got my girl Tiffany on, and she blessed us on today. Y'all be blessed. I will see you on this Thursday, 7 o'clock.
Thank
Dr.
you, Bonnie.
Kristen
Thank
Austin.
you.